Since my last video was on the quite serious topic of what's wrong with making one film, I thought today I'd take a break from talking about the serious parts of film and just express opinions that I have on the topic of student films. Now, what classes something as a student film? I follow and watch so many short film creators on YouTube, but we have to draw a line between what is a student film and what is a professionally made film. For example, I would consider Ewan's short films to be more like student films because whilst they still have amazing visuals and locations, they are still more low budget than something perhaps made by Sammy Paul or Bertie Gilbert, just to name a few YouTube directors that I know of. Now I've briefly covered what a student film is, there is that question of why. Why do students make films? The obvious answer is because they have to, and the second obvious answer is because they want to. During a uni course or an A-level course like I'm on, you have to make a film. The end of AS piece, you have to produce some physical piece of coursework like a film, and then at the end of A2 you have to make it longer. And then obviously at uni, if you take a media production based course, you will at some point have to make a short film. But just because you have to do it because that's what your subject matter entails, doesn't mean you don't enjoy doing it. If you've picked film studies or media production as a topic, you obviously enjoy creating and making films. And so obviously you enjoy doing that, whether it's part of your course or whether it's just for fun. Now in my A2 level that I am now in college, I have been shown a plethora of student films, all with individual ideas and great stories and great directing. However, there is that point where you yourself might want to make a film, and the first thing you have to think of is, what do you want to film? This is particularly where I have my biggest flaw. I think in a creative sense, I'm constantly in a state of writer's block. Whether it comes to writing my blog or making YouTube videos, I never know what to discuss. I have a million things going on up in here and I just can't seem to translate them into formed structures or sentences, or in film's case, into a structured narrative. This though is what I believe student films are made for. They are made for you to take whatever idea is locked away in your head and put it through a camera and onto a screen. They exist for people to make their first ever films and for people to experience what being behind a camera or in front of a camera is like for the first time. They're not meant to be these grand cinematic masterpieces or even up to the standard of what some YouTube creators are creating now. They are meant to be everyone's firsts at coming into the film industry, which is something that I think a lot of film students need to be reminded about, because we see all these grand spectacles and we forget that we don't have to make films to that level. We are beginners, this is how we enter the industry, and yes, student films can help with portfolios, can help you get into uni, can help you get into jobs. But your first film is not going to be the best thing you ever made. It will be a starting point that you will hopefully build on for the rest of your career into film. When you are a student, as long as your ideas aren't harming others or yourself, all of your ideas are good. They have some positive impact into your career, whether that shows you that's a path you don't want to go down, or whether you find the things you want to film and you find the topics and the genres you want to present. All the ideas you have are beneficial to you in some way. Don't write off an idea just because one person in your life didn't like it or you're a bit unsure. Try it, expand on it, create spider diagrams on it, try and draft a script, have someone else look over it and then write it again and show someone and write it again. You have to be prepared to mould your first film like you've just picked up some clay and you don't know how to make a vase, but you're going to somehow make it just by sticking bits together and seeing if they stay there. Again, it's very easy for me to say all this to you because I don't have to make your film, but the thing is, I feel like student films are times where young directors really get to explore what type of person they are, explore their beliefs, explore how they think the world should be, and then they get to represent that through their art, through the medium of film. And I both think it's good for expression in terms of film, and I also think it's good to let out things you believe in. The internet is a scary place, and letting out your opinions simply in a tweet is sometimes quite frightening and can be hit with a lot of backlash, but if you put it in an artistic form and you put it in a way that people can conceptualize it and take what they want from it, it becomes a lot of a safer medium. All in all, people shouldn't rat on student films for being low budget or shitty, because that's what they're meant to be. Everyone's first film is going to be a disaster. Mine was, and I'm guessing my next one isn't going to be much better. Don't for 2 seconds think that your ideas don't mean anything, because they're your ideas and you obviously envisioned them for a reason. Someone out there is going to love your ideas, and if you keep at it and you keep moulding them and you keep developing them into eventually what you class as your own film, then that's all that matters. Student films need to be taken more seriously than they are, because they are the start of directors' paths into the industry, and they're where all our favourite directors obviously had to start. Everyone's first film is shit. That's just the way the industry works. Not acting on an idea just because you don't have the funds, the equipment, or enough people believing in you is really upsetting. Just go out, make all the things, and just make all the things. Great conclusion, Kira. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.